What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to No Stoppage Sports Talk. I'm rolling No Stoppage Coppage, and today we're going to talk about Week 1 on the NFL. We're going to talk about those top 5 games to look out at in my prediction. We also going to talk about the trade the Cardinals made with the Chiefs for their cornerback. And we're going to talk about Tim Tebow trying out for Major Leagues. Who the fuck? We also going to talk about the top 5 running backs, wide receivers, defenses, and tight ends in the NFL. We're going to talk about the decision the Denver Broncos made, the Super Bowl champs, at quarterback. We're also going to talk about the Vikings and their unfortunate quarterback situation with Teddy Bridgewater. But this is K-Camp going, and we're going to stay turned up right here on No Stoppage Sports Talk. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Can't remember the last time I stood in line. For the bitches in the station and they fine. But as we fucking, I ain't tryna wait no time. All right, first things first, let's talk about Week 1 of the NFL season. We're over with the preseason. We saw some terrible second string and third string players. Everybody's getting their rosters down and getting ready for the big season opener, and I'm pretty excited about this year's football season. Week 1, first game out of the gate, we're going to have the Panthers versus the Broncos in Denver. The Panthers coming back after losing that Super Bowl. It looks like they're going to be determined, like every Super Bowl loser is they're determined to get back to the Super Bowl and possibly get the chance to win. It's hard to get back. So, what Seattle Seahawks did in 2000, was that 14, 15, they got back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, and, that isn't easy to do. So, we're going to see what the Panthers going to do. I think they're coming back with a great defense like they had last year. Offense is basically still intact with an addition of their best receiver. So they should be excited and ready and focused this NFL season all the way through the season. With the Denver Broncos, they're coming in. They got 2 missing starters on their defense. Their defense is looking good still, looking just as good as it did last year, minus those 2 players. It might take a small drop, but a small drop just put them right in with a really good defense. Last year they was all-time great. Now they might just be great. And that's where I'm putting the defense at with the Broncos. We get another year of experience with Stewart at the safety position with the Broncos, so he should get better there. With the year experience with Wade Phillips now, last year was his first year there. So usually people progress are with a year under their belt. Let's see if the Broncos do the same thing. Same as with the Carolina Panthers. Back with the Broncos on offense, they got a big shoes to fill with no Peyton Manning. I know he didn't do much in the season last year, but the mind is a very, very strong tool. The game is played in your mind. It's very mental. So with Peyton Manning gone, defenses don't have to look for that wizard. So that's going to be one of the things that the Broncos are going to have to figure out, and the coaching staff is really going to have to do their work on exposing defenses now, since Peyton Manning can't do that, since you lost that coach on the field, as in Peyton Manning. No Brock Osweiler, so the person that was supposed to takes Peyton Manning's spot initially, he got paid more money. He was in a contract year. He got paid more money. It was his right to go on. He was good, but you know, he wasn't great. So a good player can be replaced. Um, so we get that leaves us with Simeon, who beat out Mark Sanchez for the spot as the Denver Broncos quarterback. And Simeon, he shows. This is my first time really seeing him. He was at Northwestern um, College, and he did well there. He was sharing snaps with another guy. I don't know his name, but Simeon, he's got some good tools. He's going to throw some interceptions. I know that. I know that he will throw some interceptions, so don't expect him to be flawless. He's got some flaws in him. He's learning. He's only been in the NFL for 2 years. He does have an advantage of knowing the Kubiak system and playing behind Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler. So and watching, being a student of the game. So you can't take that for granted. That's one of Peyton Manning's greatest assets was his mind. So hopefully he passed some of that knowledge of playing the game of football down in Trevor Simeon. I'm sorry, Trevor Simeon. While he was with Trevor Simeon for that long year. Um, Paxton Lynch, I know Paxton Lynch. He doesn't have the knowledge yet or the awareness, but hey, man, the mechanics are there. Simeon, if the Broncos don't think Simeon can take them where they need to go, and Paxton Lynch get a few games, in-game reps, we're gonna have to let him learn on the fly, you know. But at the end of the day, with these two teams, I'm a Broncos fan, so I'm a little bit biased with this pick, but I'm picking the Broncos to win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers won because they do have the quarterback. They have the defense that stayed intact with the minus of Josh Norman, who was supposedly supposed to be this zone quarterback. So shouldn't be nothing for another quarterback to step in there and fill his shoes. So I'm riding with the Panthers on that note there. With the Green Bay Packers, the addition of Jordy Nelson, the Green Bay Packers, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With the addition of Jordy Nelson coming back and, a healthy Cobb and experience with the tight ends, I think the Green Bay Packers are going to be a team to be reckoned with. They should be within the last 4 to 6 teams that are playing at the end of the season. If anything less, it will be a disappointment. They have the franchise quarterback, the superstar quarterback. They got their main weapon back. They have a nice second receiver. They have 2 great tight ends. They got a slot receiver. So they're looking real good on paper. Their defense has another year of experience. I don't remember them losing anything on defense that should make a big difference. And plus, they're in that NFC North with Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit, and them. So with those 3 teams, they play 4 games. They should win all 4. I expect them to run away with that division. Definitely since Teddy Bridgewater is hurt. Vikings could give them a bit of a run because they got the great defense, and if they play ball control offense, keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, they could give them a little trouble. With Jacksonville, this is almost a brand new team. They are expected to be in the top 10 of all teams, possibly top 8. Blake Bortles got another year under his belt. He picked up steam at the end. They have the wide receiver Robinson, who did really well last year. They also have Julius Thomas, the ex-Broncos running back. Tight end. That was a pretty good addition also. So They're expecting good things. They got Malik Jackson. I know they got a pretty good. I think it was a cornerback or a safety from Florida State. He was a top 3 pick. So hey, they looking on the up and up in Jacksonville. And hey, they need it. They haven't been good in a long time since Maurice Jordan-Drew was there. So uh, that would be something. That would be something that they'll be looking forward to is the success that they supposedly are to have. But with that game, Packers and Jaguars, I'm going with the Packers on that one. Also, the next game up is Bengals and the Jets. With that team there, I think the Bengals and the Jets. The Bengals have something to prove as they did last year, but I mean they actually beat was supposed to beat Pittsburgh with the dumb penalties. It really messed them up. And they can't lose many in that division. You got Pittsburgh that's supposed to be on top of their game this year after having an injury-riddled season, and uh, Pittsburgh they are losing one receiver or missing one big-time receiver, which is Martavius Bryant from the drug suspension, year-long suspension. So that's not looking great, but they do have people to replace him like Marcus Wheaton, and you can't forget Antonio Brown, maybe the best receiver in the league. Also, uh, Pittsburgh always finds somebody. They always find a tight end and a good receiver. You know, you might never heard of him, but all of a sudden, Big Ben makes the guy famous. Big Ben is back and healthy. Last year, facing a few injuries, but they should be looking forward to the season in Pittsburgh as well. With the Jets, they signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. He ain't get much of training camp in, but he did get some preseason work in. And their defense is back. They're supposed to have one of their best defenses. Another I could say top 7 defense they're supposed to have. So they don't have Cromartie anymore. They still have Revis, but they have some young talent there. With that game, I'm going to pick the Bengals, even though the game is played in New York. The Bengals do have one of the top 5 defense as well from last year. And they lost a couple cornerbacks, but that's about it. And then you got the Cowboys and Giants. That's a divisional game, so that should be a tough game, hard-fought game. It's going to count big time. Cowboys edition with quarterback there. I forget the guy's name. Prescott, I think Zach Prescott or something like that. I'm not for sure. I know his last name Prescott, but I don't remember his first name. Also, you got the return of Victor Cruz for the Giants. You got some additions. You got Patrick Pierre-Paul went through a whole training camp preseason, so he's been with the team from the jump, opposed to last year where he had the little hand incident. So that should be a good game. Dez Bryant's back. Whedon's back. The Cowboys defense is suspect, but they did get Zeke Elliott, and everybody's expecting good things from him. So that should be a great game to watch. With that game, I'm gonna go with the. I think I'm gonna go with the Giants on that one. They have the more. They have the depth, they have the experience, and they have the what do you call that when the team clicks? The chemistry. They have the chemistry on both offense and defense with their groups being there, and their coach was just the offense coordinator last year. So I think the Giants will win this game, especially with Tony Romo being out again with the bad back. The next game we got is the Patriots and Cardinals. With no Tom Brady, could get a little bit finicky, but somehow Bill Belichick is always able to compete. So it's going to be a battle, and the Cardinals do have secondary issues. Like I said, they just traded for a quarterback, a corner, Cooper, that used to play with the Chiefs, is now going over to Arizona for I think it was an 8th round draft pick or something like that. So that's going to be interesting. With that, we got the Honey Badger back. And you got Peterson over there on one corner. They got Jones from New England last year, which is a hell of a rusher. So they're going to get to the quarterback more than they did last year. So that should be a battle. It's going to be played in Arizona. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals came out on top with this one with no Tom Brady. So that's gonna be our top 5 games. That's the top 5 games of Week 1 and my predictions. The teams to look at. So make your prediction.
I know that bitches gonna.
Hey, welcome back, guys. We back at No Stoppage Sports Talk with your boy No Stoppage. All right, so we're back and we're gonna talk. Let's talk Tim Tebow briefly because his NFL career was brief. But Tim Tebow, what he does have working for him is that when he did play, he won games. I understand that, but he kept you on the edge of your chair in football. He wasn't good enough in football, so what he did was try to go play baseball. He can't play baseball. He could never throw a football, so how the hell you think he's going to be able to pass a damn baseball accurately 40 or 50 yards out? He's got to be able to pass that on time, and they want him to try for the major league. It's not going to work. He is not that type of athlete. He's not Bo Jackson. He's not Deion Sanders. This isn't no Tebow nose. You can't try to make him what he's not to be. We know that he's a Christian, and for some reason America's obsessed with him because he chose this faith. It is what it is. It's nothing special. We got a million Christians out here that's playing sports. Why you choose him? He was a great college football athlete. He was one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He won 2 national championships with Florida. But, hey, the bus stops there. He did a great job when he filled in with Denver, taking them to the playoffs, getting them to the divisional round, which I understood, which is great. I'm a Broncos fan, so it's great for me. But in natural reality, he couldn't beat out Mark Sanchez, couldn't beat out Geno Smith. He couldn't beat out Mallet up there in New England. He couldn't beat out Sanchez again in Philly. So, hey, it's over for him as a football player. It's over for him in sports, in professional sports. He could probably be a really good player in the CFL in Canada. Hey, Flutie was good up there. They play more of his style. So I would think that Tim Tebow in the major leagues is donezo. He probably won't be able to make the minor leagues. So I don't understand what this factuation is with Tim Tebow playing sports. He can be a commentator for college football, which he was great at. So be a great commentator for there at ESPN. I wish you the best of luck in anything you do, but that just giving my opinion on where Tebow is in his future with baseball and football. All right, so next thing we're gonna sit here and chat about is gonna be the top 5 running backs in the NFL. My top 5 running backs are going to play for Arizona, Vikings. It's going to play for Seattle, Le'Veon Bell whenever he comes back, Pittsburgh. And you got to go with the Kansas City trio. Those are going to be 5 with Jamal Charles. You got, what's his name? Devin Johnson up in Arizona. And C.J. Johnson, the Johnson boys. You got Jamal Charles in Kansas City. Kendrick West and whatever the Ware guy. Also in Pittsburgh, you got Le'Veon Bell when he comes back from his suspension. You got D'Angelo Williams as well. So and you got Minnesota. You got Adrian Peterson, all-time great Hall of Famer, and you got and I say who else? You got Adrian Peterson, you got Le'Veon Bell, you got Jamal Charles, you got I think his name is Devin Johnson for the Cardinals, and one more. Who will be the other one? Um, uh, who's going to be my other running back? Um, Thomas Rawls. Thomas Rawls up there in Seattle. That's going to be a good running game too. So we got Rawls, Devin Johnson. We got Adrian Peterson, Le'Veon Bell, and Jamal Charles. Those should be the top 5 running backs right off of paper. Jamal Charles, we know he's going to have a small setback. So if he's not in his place, I would put the store guy for Carolina. He will be one of the best, probably number 6 if not number 5. For the wide receivers, we're going to go down with Antonio Brown. You got to have him in number 1. You're going to have probably Hopkins down in Houston. He's a beast. You're going to have Beckham. Obviously, he's going to get the targets, and he's a beast. Can't say he's not. You're going to have. Other than that, you're going to have probably the Cook guy down there in San Antonio. New Orleans, and other person. I would say the Robson guy down in Jacksonville. Those should be the top 5 wideouts this year that should kill the league. I'm talking about they're going to be a problem. The defenses, you know the Broncos going to be one of the best defense. Carolina is going to be one of the best defense. You're going to have the Vikings going to be one of the best defenses. You're going to have Seattle is going to be one of the best defenses, and to round it off, the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to have a pretty good defense as well. So those 5 should be the defenses that's going to clean up house right there. We got Chiefs, Seattle, Broncos, Vikings, and Broncos, Vikings, and Carolina. So look at those defenses. Carolina and Denver leading the pack with the best 2 defenses. Then the other 3 after that. Then another thing I want to talk about is the Teddy Bridgewater situation. It was unfortunate. He's doing practice that he got hurt, but who are the Vikings going to bring in to replace him? Sean Hill. Can't do that. He belongs in the third string for real, or the second string. But you got to go after either Kaepernick or, like they said, Geno Smith, or even Mark Sanchez. You got to bring somebody with some experience that can at least, have some experience of running a team. That Hill guy, he's run a team, an unsuccessful team, a team that's never been talked about. So you don't want to throw him in that fire, especially with Green Bay trying to redeem itself after what happened to them last year. So Bridgewater, he's going to be out for the year. Unfortunate, but we can't for Nerve Turner and their head coach, they gotta get a quarterback in there. They have to get somebody, even if it's Sanchez, even if it's Geno, even if it's Kaepernick. Those three guys are on the bench, are going to be free agents. So make a trade for one of them and get your team, give your team some confidence going into the season and starting the season off with a known leader. Don't wait till week 4 or 5 where the guy still got a learning curve into week 3. So by that time you're 8, you're probably won 2 or 3 games, and you're week 8, you're 3-5. You know what I mean? You don't want to put yourself in a hole. You want to get them in there as fast as possible. So while you're cutting down your roster, get the man in there, get the trade done, or get one of those 3 quarterbacks. Sanchez, Geno, or you got to go with Kaepernick if the Niners let him go. So that's the quarterback situation with the Vikings. You do not want Sean Hill to run your group for 16 games if you're trying to get in the playoffs, because you won't. Even with a great defense and a running back as good as not a great defense, a really good defense. A great defense is what Denver was last year. A really good defense. Adrian Peterson, Sean Hill can't be that guy for that. He has no experience how to run a successful team. So I would get him in there. But those are just some of the things that I'm thinking of this new week coming by. Week 1 is going to be very exciting. I'm very excited for this football season, as all of the football fans are. You people out there in NFL world, make sure you subscribe to my channel, NoStoppage TV, and let's do this weekly. We're going to drop this weekly. It's going to be new music. We're going to new topics. And we're going to have me. And so always keep it locked at No Stoppage Sports Talk, one of the hottest shows that's going to go down on YouTube. Watch what I tell you. And if you got something to say, don't hesitate to put it in the comments. I'm going to read some of them, but you guys on that boo-boo, I'm not going to read the boo-boo. Ain't going to do nothing but make me mad. But be ready. Be ready. Stay ready. And we're going to go down like this. With a little Isaiah Rashad Sunset.
I'm just one dirty motherfucker. I hurt myself way more than you. This
Hey.
I'm your fucking cup. I put the codeine in my suit.
Hey.
Spitting granny face. I'm supposed to show you love. I don't need no picket line. I don't need no fucking hug. You just
Shout out to KC.
With your neck and
No Stoppage Fitness. Shout out to Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to TST Network Studios. We're gonna keep it going.
Lately, I only been bumping that yacht. All this Burberry on top of my body. I know the Sunday would give me that Robert. Pulling up, trying to tell me the truth. I hit you fat like a nigga robotic. Look what I got, bitches, titty and salad. Tell them that back and just check out the power. Sweet learner, you some wild, you some more. You wanna be like one of them, but now I do. me. I know that bitches gon' get bitches, but I love them hoes. Just coming for you, come, just coming for you. Yeah, bitches gon' get bitches, but I love them hoes. Just